Hijabs off, handcuffs on, Iranian women shock by subverting holy procession. The Iranian authorities have taken swift action against a group of young women in Karaj who participated in an Ashura procession without wearing hijabs, sparking widespread reactions on social media. Ashura, which is a solemn day in the Shia Islamic calendar, commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, during the Battle of Karbala. It is typically marked by mourning processions where participants wear black clothing and also involve usually like a beating of the chest, sometimes flagellation, that kind of thing. The incident in Karaj, which occurred on July 16th, was seen as particularly offensive because it appeared to disregard the religious and customary practices of Ashura. Hamid Hadavand, the chief police of Al-Boroz province, stated, quote, given the release of a video on social media about the presence of several girls without hijab in the Ashura day of mourning and the harming of the religious feelings of Husseini mourners throughout the country, pursuing the issue is placed upon the agenda of the police officers of the province. This perceived violation of religious norms led to the identification and summoning of the women involved, highlighting the tension between religious observance, personal freedom, and state enforcement of dress codes in Iran. The crackdown also reflects the intensified enforcement of Iran's mandatory hijab law, underscoring the ongoing debate about religious expression and individual rights in the country. So, Armin, this is a little bit niche, but this is very fun for the people who know what's going on. So, let's watch the video of what happened. And then, as this is playing, can you explain for people that don't know more about Ashura? Explain why they're doing what they're doing, and then like how what these girls are doing is seen as so subversive, not only from the Islamic perspective but also kind of from some secularist or atheist perspectives.
This was a huge bombshell in Iranian social media. People from all sides were like, "Wow!" Some people were celebrating it. Some people were on both
WTF.
sides. Some people were offended. Some atheists didn't know how to welcome this or not welcome this, right? But let me actually first know if you have audio.
Yes.
Do you have idea? Okay, so guys, let's watch this. And for you guys who know what's happening here, like I want to see if people understand what the issue with this video is. So please let us know if you understand what the issue with this video is.
Yeah, great. Armin. Yeah, here we go.
Okay, you have no idea how many experts and social commentators. Yeah, this is Iran. This is in Iran. Okay, you have no idea how everybody's trying to analyze what the hell this means. Every single Iranian Islamic channel that I follow is like dissecting this. Every single anti-religion, anti-government, or like just like academic professors in sociology and everything, they're all commenting on this. On what does this mean? Is it good? Is it bad? But this is insane. This is a new chapter in the meaning of religious rituals in Iran. And it's a symbol of a major shift, because a lot of other things have happening in Iran that shows this shift. But this video was like a bomb that exploded, and everybody's commenting on it, right? So do people
But break it
understand
down for
what's
us, because a lot of people
yeah.
don't understand, why are they hitting themselves? What are they hitting themselves with? Is it typical for women to do the self-flagellation?
Well,
Why
I'm
are they
gonna do
showing
that.
their
I'm gonna
hair?
do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. So you just did a whole bunch of spoiler alerts for what I was gonna say. So Ashura is like a day that you remember the death of Hussein, and remember this is Shia Islam. So Hussein is basically the main focus of Shia Islam. Remember, the in Shia Islam, the main people that matter, the main entities that matter are not Muhammad and Allah. They're Hussein, Ali, and Fatima. They matter more than Allah and Muhammad, even if they don't admit that. And Hussein being the main person. Hussein died in a battle in Karbala, and his martyrdom is that event is central to Shia ideology. It's actually what made Shia Islam, was that event in that battle, right? So in Ashura, you're supposed to remember Hussein and his death and his martyrdom, and you're supposed to wear black, and you're supposed to come and mention his name and hit yourself, and also do this. This is called Zanjir Zani. Zanjir Zani means chain hitting, which you hit yourself with chain, remembering Hussein, right? So the most important thing, first of all, is that women don't do that. Okay, women in Ashura, they do not hit their chest, and they don't do zenjizeni. Women come around here, they cook food, they give people water. They have so many other roles in Ashura, but participating in the events is definitely not one of them. Let alone without the hijab. Okay, so let me just tell you, without them participating in the event, just their presence for the past couple of weeks before we saw this video, this was already bombshell news. Like, this was already major news that people are showing up to Ashura without hijab. Like, the religious people are were showing the videos. Like, this was like we must be dreaming, because even before this happening, they were saying this must be the end of times. Like, the Mehdi must be coming, not because they saw this. They said it's the end of times because we're seeing women without hijab just showing up at Ashura. Like, my entire childhood in Iran was the society being divided between the religious people and the non-religious people, mostly nationalist people. That's And they had their places, and they had their other places, and they didn't like to commingle or anything like that. This is seen by religious people as an invasion of degeneracy over in religious on religious ground, in religious ceremonies, right? So some religious people are hating on this, and some atheist Iranian are hating on this. The religious Iranians who are hating on this, they're saying, like, what the hell? How is this happening? We were supposed to go to them and make them religious. Now they're making our Ashura irreligious. And why is this even being allowed? Who is moderating this Ashura, this Muharram ceremony? Why is nobody stopping them? Why are they not arrested? Like, they were wondering, why are people not being arrested just for showing up without it? Like, they were like, the audacity. Because after the Master Revolution, they were wondering why women without hijab are not being arrested in the streets. Now they're saying not only they're not arrested, they have the audacity to come in the most religious places without hijab. Like, let alone them existing without hijab in streets now, that being common now. They're so bold to just come into our spaces, and they're so not worried about being arrested that they're showing up in the most religious places without hijab. Like, what? They're like, what is this, an Islamic country anymore? We don't have to worry about just random women without hijab in the streets. They're coming into our mosques without hijab. They're coming into our Ashura ceremonies without hijab. And they're saying this is the end of times. Like the Mahdi must be coming any time now if this is what's happening, right? So this is
It's
why the
over.
religious
Wrap it up.
people, right? So this is why some religious people are angry, and some atheists are also angry. And they're like, why are liberal-minded hijabless women participating in religious ceremonies? Like we're supposed, like what the, like women who are bold enough not to wear the hijab in a country where hijab is mandatory, why are they hitting themselves from Hussein? We hate Hussein. Like screw Hussein. Why are you doing this? We're against Ashura. We're against the ceremonies. This is the Islamic Republic's ideology, and you're by your presence there, you're supporting it. So the atheists and the religious people, they disagree. And okay, so the atheists are having a conflict, and the religious people are having a conflict. The religious people are saying this is promoting degeneracy in the heart of Islamic ceremonies. Some religious people are saying no, we should welcome this because Hussein would have wanted us to make this ceremony open to sinners. These people are sinners, but look, even sinners love Hussein. Even sinners cry for Hussein. So we should welcome this. This shows that even some religious people, so the religious people are fighting. Some religious people say, like, we should celebrate this because this shows that even the people who don't wear the hijab, they're still deep inside of them. They cry for Hussein, that they
Oh
want
my god.
Islam. So don't
Mhm.
judge people by what they're wearing because there's always hope. These women there's these women, they look like sinners, but in their heart, they're still not lost. In their heart, they have, so this is, so there are some religious people are like, no, shut the hell up. Yes, Hussein would say that, yeah, we should allow sinners in. Oh, so this is what some religious people say, like, yes, we should allow everybody in the mosque. We should allow everybody in Ashura, including the sinners. But allowing in the sinners doesn't mean that they're allowed to sin while they're there. You should allow the sinners, but not allow them to sin while they're there. So yeah, we love the sinners, but we don't love their sin. We shouldn't let them be without hijab while they're in there, right? So that's a fight within the religious community, and the atheist community is also fighting, right? Some atheists, they say we should be against this because these hijabless women are supporting a religious ceremony. Some Iranian atheists. Some atheists, including me, are saying like, no, we're infiltrating the enemy. Okay, this is good. We are going to where this is liberalism going into their ground. This is good. This shows that our domain is growing. They were trying to come to our domain, but now we're spreading liberalism into their domain. What I argued on my Persian channel is this is not reform, because a lot of people in Iran are anti-reform because they think reform means like keeping Islam alive. I argued that reform and secularization are um, two different processes, like two different phenomena. One of them is reform is basically changing the cover of Islam to keep the heart of Islam, right? Cutting the leaves to keep the root. Secularization is keeping the rituals, but removing the religion, secularizing it, removing the religious belief from it. And the example I gave on the Persian channel for why I celebrate this is I said people in Iran are doing to Ashura what people in Christian countries did to Christmas. They secularize it. I said, like, we should welcome this move, just in the same way that Christmas is more about Santa Claus and the Christmas tree. We should secularize Ashura and other religious ceremonies in Iran to make it more about just a festival rather than it being about Hussein. We could turn the Hussein and these other things into myth, that people are there because people in Iran don't have that many excuses to come around and get around and do things together. So instead of destroying it, secularize it in the same way that Christmas is now secularized, right? So these people are there, they're not for Hussein. They just want to participate in community activities and be part of something. that's what they want to do. Let them do that, because it's more likely for these girls over there to make the Basiji boy feel become less Islamic than the Basiji boy is likely to make these girls Islamic. These girls
Heyo.
will have him, yeah. These girls will be able to make that religious boy in that ceremony to be less Islamic. That religious boy in the ceremony is not going to make these girls more Islamic. The effect is the other way around. So I celebrate this. But again, I just gave you a surface level of all the discussions that we have been having on the Persian side on this.
No, I love it. I can understand why for the, anti-regime, anti-Islamic, segment of the Iranian population, they're like, "What the hell? Isn't this what we're trying to get away from? Why did these, like, liberal presenting women, like, why are they participating in this?" And so forth. But I'm like, this is so I just really enjoy things that subvert religious myth and tradition. And this is part of why, like, have no problem with the Last Supper, like, drag performance in Paris. Like, this is I love these subversive activities that challenge our beliefs about what is normative, what is traditional, who gets to participate in them, what does it mean to participate in them, the roles that are dictated around these things, and just flipping that on its head is so interesting and fun and, like, intellectually stimulating. So when I first saw this and I sent it to Armin, I was like, not gonna lie, this is kind of cool.
By the way, these girls were arrested because this was such a.
Yeah.
By the way, most girls without hijab are not being arrested in Iran because there's just too many. But these girls were arrested because this was such a major news in Iran, and also that those people who are organizing this Ashura ceremony thing, their license to do this was taken away from them. So there's also that. I just wanted to make sure.
Wild.
Now, yeah, but yeah, this is huge. This is a huge people, because by the way, even when I was like 20 years ago in Iran, when I was like, it was, I still remember many boys going to Ashura not for religious reasons, but because there are girls who show up there watching boys taking off their shirts and hitting their chest. And there are certain boys that like had no religious beliefs, but they participated because they know there will be girls watching. So
Hell
I
yeah.
remember some, yeah. So I think like it's possible to turn these events into something else, like slowly, like just like Christmas and stuff. Yeah.
I remember seeing little cartoons, little Iranian cartoons and, like, comics, and it's all these girls, like, showing up to Ashura, and it's a guy who's, like, all muscular, like, hitting himself, looking at them like, "Mm."
Yeah, yeah. There's actually a thing that you're supposed to lift. It's very very heavy.
Oh,
Okay, and
yeah.
every year they make it bigger and bigger to like, and there's certain guys that exercise all year to be able to lift that to show girls how strong they are, and they specifically want that job. And there's also a huge giant ass drum that like a lot of boys like try to compete to do that because it's a big drum, and if you hit it, you just look cool. So
Hell
there's
yeah,
that as
brother. I
well.
love that it just, like, turns into, like, a low-key strongman contest.
Yeah. Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.